You have got to be kidding me. Only down and right work. I'm just gonna reboot. I think the menu's completely frozen. I think we just blue screened the monitor's on-screen display.
Once upon a time, there is a monitor like no other. A monitor that would shatter records, have the best features and technology, all while being super affordable and crowning itself the people's monitor. Until it never came out. Well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I am talking about the Eve Spectrum and the downfall of what could have been the monitor that rewrote the way all monitors were made and basically lead us into the future. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and let's get right into it. Roll the intro. Last year I made a video about the Eve Spectrum and why everybody should be looking at this monitor because it was literally the monitor of the future. I mean, all before that video did get taken down. But in a nutshell, in today's market, there is no monitor right now that supports HDMI 2.1. And you might be thinking, well, what about this Samsung monitor or this LG monitor? No. Right now, there is not one monitor on the market that supports HDMI 2.1. If you think there is a monitor on the market that is HDMI 2.1, chances are it is a TV, not a monitor. And why is HDMI 2.1 so important? Well, if you do not know, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X supports up to 4K at 120 frames per second. The only problem is that you can only get there if you're using an HDMI 2.1 monitor or HDMI 2.1 TV. So right now, as a lot of gamers that are really competitive like myself, I would rather prefer to use a monitor because of the input lag that is associated with TVs. So I need to get a monitor that is HDMI 2.1. Now, what is all the hype around HDMI 2.1? Why is it so important? Well, the thing is that HDMI 2.1 allows you to play at a higher resolution and a higher frame rate at the same time. Current monitors in today's market, they cap you at 60 frames per second when you're trying to play at 4K, or I think the highest right now for 1440p is 140 frames per second. So really there's always a drawback. If you want higher frames, you're gonna have to drop the quality, and if you want higher quality, you're gonna have to drop the frames. So with HDMI 2.1, you're able to achieve a higher quality and higher frames at the same time. Now, like I said in my other videos, there are some monitors on the market today that is able to bypass this whole issue, like the one right in front of me. If you want to take a look at that video, I'm going to leave the link right up here, and that video goes in depth in why I think this monitor is the best currently on the market for the PS5. So when this company Eve came out and said they were going to be the first monitor to support HDMI 2.1, it was a big thing. Not to mention, the monitor that they were advertising was a 4K monitor that supported 144 Hz, had HDR, 1 millisecond response time, all at a price of $650, which was extremely cheap, especially in comparison to the monitors that are on today's market. Only problem with that monitor was that you did have to pre-order it, meaning that it was not going to be able to ship until way into the future. And at the time when I made the video, that was May of 2020, and they said that they're expecting shipment by Q4 of 2020, meaning like November, December of 2020. And we're currently in May of 2021. So what really went on there? And I've been monitoring this monitor, well, that was a mouthful, for quite some time now. Even when it was supposed to ship in Q4, I just saw they kept on pushing it back. They pushed it back to January 2021. They pushed it back to May of 2021. And now they're saying that this monitor won't be able to ship until July of 2021, which is later this year. So once again, they are just continually pushing back that timeline. Not to mention, not only have they pushed back the timeline, but they also have increased prices. Last year when I checked this out, the price was around $650. Now we're looking at $710. But with the Eve Spectrum, one thing that they did was that they advertised it right before the next generation of consoles. And that was so big for them because a lot of people were looking for HDMI 2.1 monitors, and that was the only one that was actually being advertised at the time. Another problem that they faced was that a lot of the review units that they sent out to Linus Tech Tips and other YouTubers, it ended up giving them bad PR because a lot of those units had a plethora of issues. And ever since they've been delaying it and delaying it and delaying it, that gave other monitor manufacturers time to hop into the market and sort of take away the spotlight that Eve once had. I mean, monitor companies like LG, Asus, ViewSonic, they've already announced the names for their HDMI 2.1 monitors, and as a consumer, who are you gonna trust? Are you gonna trust a brand that just came out in the monitor industry, or are you gonna pick a monitor company that has been established in the industry for quite a long time? And if that wasn't enough, if you look at Eve's history, you're gonna find that they came out with products in the past, but they never delivered it to customers. So that kind of ruined their reputation as being like a notable brand in the market, because they burned a lot of customers that really believed in their products. And so that brings us to where we're at right now. Eve has not delivered any products. All we've seen so far are review units from a couple different YouTubers. The price has gone up. Other monitor manufacturers have came into the industry trying to make a name for themselves, trying to establish that they're going to be the first HDMI 2.1 monitor. And yeah, Eve is just there in the background. We're still not sure what's going to happen there. There hasn't been any new information, but trust me, when new information does come out, I will be sure to talk about it on this channel. So what can you do for yourself? Well, if you have a current reservation for an Eve product, I would try to get my money back as soon as possible. I mean, to be honest with you, even if this is a good monitor, you would want to see some reviews on it first before you actually make a wholehearted purchase into it. So my honest recommendation is that if you already have money reserved to get this Eve unit, I would take that money back out. And if you're thinking about reserving an Eve Spectrum, I would hold off on doing that just yet. I will wait for some more YouTubers and some more reviewers to come out and actually review this product before you actually invest some money into it. I mean, like I said before, Eve has a bad reputation in the history of its existence. So do not invest in this company right now. Just wait. It might actually be a really good monitor at the end of the day, but before you do that, I would not take that gamble. I would wait for other people to do it first, and then you can make your decision on that afterwards. Not to mention a lot of big name manufacturers like Asus, like BenQ, like ViewSonic have already came out saying that they're gonna come out with their versions of the HDMI 2.1 monitor, so you might have some other options to consider before you just jump on the Eve Spectrum. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this whole matter. Do you guys personally think that Eve is going to deliver on their promise of being the best HDMI 2.1 monitor on the market? I mean, just looking at the spec sheets, this is an impressive unit, but until I see this in actuality, I just don't know for sure if they can deliver. So that's where we're at. Let's see. I really hope that this monitor is good, because I like to see competition, because at the end of the day, competition is better for us. So we like to see monitors that come out and completely disrupt the market. So let's see what happens. And with that being said, make sure you subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And if there is any other information on this Eve Spectrum, I will be sure to let you guys know. Well, with that being said, my name is Matthew. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, peace out.